Okay guys, so it has been a minute since I made the last video. Lots been going on, good things. I just want to kind of give an update on where I'm at with everything, how training's been going, all that kind of stuff. So I don't even know where to start, to be honest. To jump right into it, right now I'm weighing 200 pounds as of this morning. So as of this morning I was exactly 200 pounds. Currently, I'm lifting 3 days per week, and I'm running 4 days per week. And I guess the point of this video, as far as the first update in a while, is life after PEDs, life after performance enhancing drugs, and where do you go as you enter into your 30s or even late 30s, even 40s? Where do you go when your whole life all you've known is powerlifting and lifting heavy and everything like that? And I looked at the demographics of this channel probably about a week ago, and the vast majority of you viewers are between 25 and 45. Like, that's primarily where everyone's at. You know, the younger generation, I think, has moved on to some of the other characters out there right now. But I know a lot of you guys have followed my journey, being off PEDs for the last almost 5 years, 5 years in November. So 2 months from now, it'll be 5 years exactly. And I've gotten a lot more into running, into my overall fitness, all that sort of stuff. And a lot's changed. And I think one of the things I want to do with this video is provide you hope that you can still have fitness be a part of your life, even with a busy schedule, even with work, long work hours, a family, a wife, children, all that sort of stuff. You can still have something to look forward to and something to push yourself. And I kind of wanted to lay that out, like what I'm doing. So a lot of my days, I'm training people at the gym, I'm handling clients online, making calls, all sorts of different stuff. It's just a lot of different situations, helping out with the gym that my wife and I own here in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and trying to be present for my 3.5-year-old, my 3.5-year-old little girl. She was a byproduct of coming off PEDs when I was 30 years old, or 29. So it's been a lot that's went down. It's been I'm 34 now. I turned 34 a month ago, almost about 3-4 weeks ago, and I'm not lifting anywhere near what I was back when I was on PEDs, when I was really pushing the weights, and that was the sole focus. Hence the weight loss down to 200 pounds. Like, this is where my body feels most efficient, and I feel the balance between strength and speed. So a lot of my runs, I'm running 10 to 11 miles 4 days a week. So roughly 40 to 44 miles a week. Every single week is my baseline. And a lot of those runs I'm doing at 5 a.m. Like when I put my little girl down for a nap at around 11. Those are the times I'm running. And that's about an hour and 15, 20 minutes, those runs. So that's been a priority, just to maintain the fitness, because as I've gotten older, I've wanted to be more fit, I've wanted to be healthier. That's been a huge priority. So it's been, I think, 3 years now that I've been running, and I know a lot of you guys have heard about like VO2 max and how that correlates to health. Peter Attia, he's been the biggest proponent of this, as far as like, what does VO2 max, how does that equate to health? And basically, the higher that number is, the more efficient your body is at processing oxygen, and the longer you live is what they've pretty much shown. So that's been a huge priority for me as well. And just the other day, I hit 58 for my VO2 max, and a couple weeks ago I hit a 5:40 mile at the track, which was an all-time PR. And many of you know I ran the marathon back in April, which was 3 hours 18 minutes 56 seconds on a very hilly course. So I'm loving running. Like, running allows me to push myself and get faster, get healthier at the same time, lessens my chances of sleep apnea, which sleep apnea obstructively, it happens a lot of times when your neck is over, I think it was 17 inches is the cutoff for men. That's typically, when you get past that, that's when you start to see that. I'm at 16.5 inches right now, so I haven't needed a CPAP. I've been sleeping great. I sleep less time than ever. A lot of nights I'm sleeping like 5.5, 6 hours, but I feel more rested than ever. And the quality of sleep's just that much better. And the running does that. The running's been such a gift, like lowering blood pressure, Um, Having something else to focus on, like being able to try to get faster, that's my big goal. I'd like to do a marathon in the spring again. Do one a year is kind of my target. So that's another big goal coming up. And like I said, 10 to 11 miles, 4 days per week, and then the lifting is 2 upper body days. Um, a lot of bench, a lot of overhead press, lateral raises, big into push downs again, and overhead extensions, and then tons of curls. Because who doesn't like having their biceps grow? So those are the things I've been focusing on for upper body. Bench strength isn't great right now. Um, it's not anything to write home about. Right about 300 pounds for my max. Um, but I'm happy with that roughly. Like I'd like to get to maybe 315 and stay there. But at 200 pounds, I'm okay with that, especially with being leaner right now, which I've leaned down a ton, and that's helped my speed more than anything. Like getting as lean as possible has helped my speed tremendously. And then with lower body, tons of split squats is the primary focus. Like I do dumbbell split squats every single week. That's the main thing. Like that's what I feel gives me the speed for running and keeps the lower body respectable. I've deadlifted a bit. I just pulled not that long ago 551, and it was pretty tough to be honest. But deadlift hasn't been something I've been able to push quite as much, being this lean, this light, and then with the low back issues. So I should note, I've deviated big time into mobility work. Been doing mobility work for the last like year and a half, and it's made a massive difference in being able to move, being able to go about my everyday life better. I'm gonna put some of those stretches in here, but these are things I think everyone can do. I'm not saying you have to run for an hour and 15 minutes every single day or anything like that, but even one of my guys, I designed a training program where he's doing 35, 40-minute workouts 6 days a week, and everyone can do that. Like I don't care what your schedule, what it looks like, you can do a 35 to 40-minute workout most days, and that's how I've designed it with him, where I have him doing 3 days of running with different types of running for 35, 40 minutes, and then I have him lifting for 35, 40 minutes as well. And this can be done. It doesn't have to be this huge chore, but you can do this as you get older. You can focus on these other things. You can focus on balancing the lifting, the running, the physique, all that kind of stuff. And so I really want to put that out there. Like that's what I'm doing now, and that's been a huge thing. And then with mobility work, it takes 10 minutes, guys. I do 10 minutes a day of like stretches and mobility work, and it's just completely changed my life. I've never been more in on stretching. Like completely, my body feels so much different. One of my big ones, the hip flexors, and I didn't actually film that one, but I'll film it later. The bench hip flexor stretch is probably the biggest stretch I do. It's the best. So many people's issues tie back to tight hip flexors, tight TFLs, glute medius, these areas. And if you open this stuff up, it's going to completely transform everything. So those have been some key focuses. I've been trying to get better at the splits. Like I'm getting closer to being able to pull off the splits. Full hamstring stretching, where you can almost touch your forehead to your legs. That having mobile hamstrings is huge. Frog stretch for adductors, the butterfly stretch for your adductors, the 90-90 stretch for internal hip rotation, stretching the piriformis, like all of these things that you can do this stuff. Once you develop a routine for 10 minutes a day, and it'll completely change your life. Like that's kind of some of the other things I've been doing. But I guess the point I want to get across is that you can be balanced. You can still look really good. You can be, relatively strong. I'm not going to be benching 400 pounds. Let me be honest. I'm not going to bench 350 being, where I'm at now with my body weight, with the running, with how lean I am. I'm not going to bench 350. 315 is plausible. Same with deadlift. Like 600 might be reasonable, but beyond that, probably not, unless I put on some weight, body fat, that sort of thing. So you have to be realistic about these goals, but you can still have a really good baseline, have the physique to match it, and have the health. I mean, I'm so happy with these numbers of like benching 300, deadlifting 550, running a 540 mile, 58 VO2 max. Like it's a good balance, and then having all the best mobility of my life, hands down. So those are some things I want to get out there. A couple other things I want to touch on. Basically, I take 4 supplements right now: magnesium glycinate, zinc glycinate, and then the 2 game changers for me have really been vitamin B complex, B-Right. So I use Jarro's B-Right. This is the one I've been taking for years to bring up B6, B12, and B6 helps with kidney stones. So if you have calcium oxalate kidney stones or anything, it helps with that. That's one reason I've been taking it, but it also gives me energy. The other big one that's changed the game for me is proferrin iron. So a lot of the iron out there, your body doesn't really absorb it. So this one has a much higher absorption rate. I found out about it from Chris Masterjohn, who's like the supplement expert, and this tripled my iron levels. So my iron saturation level went up 2.5 times, from 20% to 46%, and my iron went from like 50 to 140. And what that's done for me is it's made me faster. It's allowed me to run faster, because even when I was eating beef, my iron level was like 80, 90. So you can eat red meat to do it, and I'm only eating chicken now because I try to stay a little leaner. But this has really helped. Those two supplements have changed the game. And I've gotten blood work done recently, nothing crazy. I'm not doing test levels anymore because it's just so pointless. Every time I've gotten them done, it's like 400 nanograms per deciliter every single test. Like, it doesn't, my testosterone levels, they really don't go up like that. So I haven't done those in a minute, but I've done like the CBC, CMP, and all that sort of stuff. But you can do all this you can do all this stuff. You can do the blood work. You can have all these things to be well-rounded, and that's what I would recommend. Blood work shouldn't change a lot year to year, but every year I try to do like a baseline with lipids, apolipoprotein B, insulin, all these sorts of things to check insulin sensitivity and all that kind of stuff. Let's see what else. And another thing that's crazy, like one of the points I'm trying to get across with the video is what a healthy lifestyle can do for you. And a healthy lifestyle can change things completely. I had the CT angiogram done last July, and it was the best CT angiogram Dr. Kyle Gillette had ever seen. He'd never seen a male with a perfect score, because even young people who are teens, 20s, typically have some degree of plaque in their arteries, and there was none. And I truly look at that as a miracle from the Lord. And another thing I'll be open about is I hadn't been to the dentist in 10 years. 10 years. And I was a little nervous how that was going to go. And I went in and they were like, wow, there's no cavities whatsoever. And I think that's a huge byproduct of not only brushing twice a day, but flossing every single day. So I floss every single day, and that improves breath. That'll improve your breath tremendously. And then it also help prevent cavities. So it's just these little things we overlook, these simple things that stack up day to day that will change your life. Like, once you develop a good routine with working out, having a mix of cardio and lifting, having these little habits, they stack up. The mobility, and even for me, something I don't do a real good job of is diet, because I run so much. I do eat bad food still. I still love freaking delicious foods, so that's been a thing for me. And you just have to develop this routine, and it doesn't have to be something that owns your life. I still have plenty of time for my little girl, for my wife, for my family, without it overtaking everything. And I'm still reading the Bible just about every day. I'm still praying to the Lord multiple times a day. We need to in the current climate with what happened to Charlie Kirk and all that sort of stuff. So this is just stuff you can do to make your lifestyle more well-rounded. I will try to do a video roughly once a week now. And if you guys have certain topics you think would be interesting, or you want me to go over anything concerning my changes, questions you have about lifting, running, coaching, anything of that sort, let me know. Hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, please. Subscribe, comment. I will try to read over the comments and get back to you. But thank you guys so much. God bless you all. I'm out.